Let's go start the Samurai, dude. Oh, huh, got door locks. Hey, this is Clint from CT Mad Mods, and today, me and old Ronan, we're gonna do a little bit of maintenance on the Samurai. I've just got some general maintenance things that I need to take care of on the Samurai. I've been focusing so much on doing engine swaps and all of the stuff that I've been doing lately that I've got a set of like door rubbers that I need to put on. My GMRS radio isn't hooked up. So I need to do a couple of things like that. So I figured I'd come inside today. We can't go riding. It's spring breakup. Things are getting mushy out there. So right now is the time to get all of the little general maintenance stuff done. And an update on my 1.6 liter 16 valve head gasket swap. Everything turned out awesome. I'm no longer having bubbles in the coolant and it runs great. I really like the power that this thing has. And I no longer have to smell coolant. So a couple of things I got going on today. I have some door rubbers. I've got a pretty good draft coming in my doors. I've got like a bracket and a ghost antenna from Midland and a shorter cable and one of the SMO connectors to hook my little Midland MXT 115 up. And I think today I'm gonna put some terminal ends on there and mount this directly to my battery. I even got a way to test it. So I'm gonna try and get those door rubbers installed. I've never done these before. Looks easy enough. And hopefully that solves my drafting issues. I guess somebody's bored. All right, so this door rubber, it looks like it just peels off. The new ones have like these little tabs that pop into the holes. So get this sucker peeled off of here. Every one of these little red clips that are on the rubber, every one of them stayed in the door, so I'm having to pick those out. Whoever had this Samurai before me actually set these doors up to come off. So here, let's just take this door off. That was pretty easy. That way I don't have to bend over to get all these little doodads out of the door. All right, I got all those little red hoo-haws out. And now I'm gonna put the new rubber gasket on. All right, these don't come with instructions, but they're pretty much self-explanatory. It looks like you just stretch the rubber and snap those little clippy-doos in that hole, and this seal can only go one way. So there's a right side and a left side. So just put it on the right side or the left side. Obviously, you don't have to take your door off to do this. You can do it right in the vehicle. But it made it easier for me. Top part just slides into this little track. It just kind of snaps in there. So, looks like it's done. Let's put it back on the Samurai. Looks like it came out pretty good. To take my doors off, all I have to do is undo this. I think it'd be really neat if I went and found like a Suzuki seat belt or something and put the belt buckle right here so I could just disconnect it. Maybe that'll happen one day, but just gotta throw these screws back in there. It looks like everything is sealing up right. Looks good. Let's do the other side. Well, so far, everything has fit perfectly, except for this one last hole right here. I don't know what that's all about, but maybe if I... Nope, that's not gonna work. Maybe I need to drill some new holes. All right, so the issue that I just ran into is one of these little pins. The hole is farther back, and so it bunches the rubber up way over here. So I'm just gonna move it over, split the difference. I got a drill index, I've got a drill. So find it looks like about a 1/4 20. So find the right drill bit. And it might be a metric hole though. I don't have metric drill bits. But a 1/4 20 fits. All right, so I just moved the hole over. Now the little hoo-ha will fit right in that hole. Or maybe it won't. Since it's a metric hole, I decided to go 2 sizes down. There it goes. Fits now. All right, looks good. Put this door back on. Looks good. All right, so that only took a few minutes. Now, I've been kind of cleaning up wiring. Y'all saw what kind of a mess this was, and it still kind of is back here. I need to get some loom and clean all that back up there. But I've really cleaned up a lot of wiring around this engine compartment. My buddy Trey, who really loves messing with wiring, says he's gonna install my radio for me, and he's gonna hook the Midland GMRS radio into a stereo and the speakers and everything to kind of work together, which I think is pretty cool. I have a stereo sitting in there right now. It's not even hooked up, but I need to mount my antenna and kind of get all of that started and ran. And I want to run the hot and the ground straight to the battery, because right now I'm using the cigarette lighter plug and it's got a lot of feedback in the speaker. Like it has a lot of static and stuff, and I know that's from going through the cigarette lighter. So I'm just gonna do that. It's gonna be kind of a temporary setup still, because Trey's gonna end up installing this thing and making it look good. But for the time being, I'm gonna go ahead and throw that sucker on the battery right now. Let's do it. Okay, so here's kind of what I'm gonna attempt to do. I have this little bracket and I wanna put it about right here. Right now, I've got like the little magnetic antenna that came with the Midland radio, but I'm gonna upgrade to this Ghost antenna, and I think all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some self-tappers, I'm gonna drill some holes and then put some self-tappers in there for now, and mount that like that. So all I'm gonna do is get a drill bit and mark those 3 holes, and then use my drill and start some holes, because those self-tappers I've got are Phillips head, and you know how that's gonna go. I don't have an impact on me today, so I'm just gonna use my drill. And let me get that set up. That's gonna end up in somebody's tire. That one's gonna end up in my tire. Really need my impact. Man, what is wrong with me today? Oh, it's got a hammer drill. Bruh, I didn't even know. Holy crap. Well, that's not just going, that's for sure. Daggone. Ain't going in there. One screw it is. You know, I'm probably just gonna end up welding this anyway, so I'll just put that on there like that for now. Put those screws where they won't go in somebody's tire. I didn't have the right size drill bit, but that's gonna work right there. So my next plan, I think, is to throw that antenna on there, and then I'm gonna kind of bend it down so it's a little bit more level. All right, so I got this SMO adapter, and I'm not real sure how it goes together. Never put one together, but it looks pretty simple. It's got some washers and some nuts. Looks like it just goes through that hole, and then you screw this to it. Oh, okay. So this has some adjustment. So I'll go down a little ways. Looks like it just goes in that hole like that. Put a washer, nut. Well, there it goes. Use my, don't know if you can say that, Jesse James edition Polish socket set. Found this in a stolen van. Are we obligated to put the Midland thing up front? Yeah, I think we are. All right, so the next thing I gotta do, I've got this cable that's about 6 foot long. My understanding of GMRS is that you don't want a 1,000-yard long cable on these things, all rolled up into a roll, so the shorter the cable, the better. So I got this one, and I'm just gonna run it through my door here, because I don't know what Trey has planned. There goes that. Looks like it goes together good. Okay, so from here, I think I'm just gonna bend this down a little bit, but let's see here. I think I'm gonna open my door, and there's a perfect spot to go through the door right here. And maybe run that run that wire through that little hoo-ha there. A zip tie with a self-tapper hole in it, and that's where I'll do that right there. It just so happens I have one, so maybe throw a self-tapper in there, through there, and then use my zip tie to keep it in that little section right there. And then I'll run it up and into the dash or over the top or whatever, but I'll figure that out when I get there. Okay, I got me a self-tapper with a zip tie or one of those little eyes on it, and I'm just gonna clip this like that, and I think that's good for now. Okay, so as you can see, now I have about 6 foot of cable, and I'm just gonna run it under the dash or whatever, and see if I can find a place to kind of shove it in a hole and run it down. And then I'm gonna run it over to the radio where I'm gonna mount it. Okay, I just ran it into this little notch right here. I kind of shoved it back inside my dash, and then there's a bar under here. I kind of put it on the back side of that. I'm gonna get some zip ties to hold it up in there, and now I'm gonna throw my little radio in. For the power wire, I'm just gonna hook the negative to the negative and the positive to the positive, and then I'm gonna run them through this loom right here and run it straight into the cab. Again, this is kind of a temporary setup because I know Trey is gonna wanna mount this a certain way, and he's putting a stereo in it, and I think we're gonna mount the Midland underneath the dash, but I'm not completely sure. So again, this is completely temporary until I, you know, kind of like a little bit better than temporary, because this antenna really sucked. Well, that's picked up a lot of junk. Hey, I found a use for this antenna. Anyways, I'm gonna run it through there and then just kind of run it up the front of the dash by the grab bar here. Can't really see it, it's kind of dark in there, but that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, now I got the negative and the positive hooked up. I'm just gonna feed that through this loom and pull it out the other side. All right, I need to film all my failures too. So whenever I went and put this on, I got to the other end, like this is a male end, and it goes into this little deal that was fitting in here. But when I got to the radio end, this doesn't go to that. So I just ordered this off of Amazon or whatever, and maybe it needed to be female to female to work. But I'm about to adapt it, and here I'll show you what I did. I went ahead and put that brass adapter, this guy right here, inside there. And I'm gonna use, not that end, because that'll thread right into the MXT 115. I'm gonna thread this guy into the antenna, and I'm gonna put a nut. What I did was I put that nut in a washer, and I've already lost the washer, but I'm gonna thread it straight into that. Just wanted to make sure, but that end threads on to there, and so I'm gonna put this washer, and I put a nut from that adapter onto this other end, and now this ghost antenna should be able to thread right onto that. Yep, fits on there. So now I just have to make sure I have enough room for that. That's a really thin bracket, so I think I should have room. Let's try it out. Okay, so found my washer and dropped it. The idea is I got that nut backed all the way off, and I'm getting a good connection with that little male plunger that goes into the female end of this. So it fits on there like that. Don't have a ton of threads, but I should be able to thread that sucker on there. It's not working. Let's try it this way. I'll pull this adapter out. This washer keeps falling off, so. we'll do it like this. Put this washer on. And there we go. They make these adapters like this, these mounts like this. They make them, and you can get them off of Amazon, but you know, I'm a long way from Amazon. That's tight. The plan is to kind of bend this bracket down like hell to make this a little bit more level. Thread this guy on like this. And I even slid my little self-tapper thing down.
Millibars and rising. At Kenai, temperature was 31 degrees. Today, partly cloudy in the morning, then becoming.
Okay, so I got one of these little FRS radios. I know it's on channel 20, so.
Checking.
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. So, we have radio now. Okay, so I just zip tied the little speaker down there. Kind of temporarily ran these wires up to the radio. And I think that's gonna be it for today. And we know the radio works. So, got myself a GMRS license now. Kind of a big deal. My little mount worked out for my antenna. Ooh, better take this with me. I'm gonna clean all this stuff up and we'll take her down the road. One of my coworkers just showed up and I just handed him the radio. He's on the other end of the building. Let's give it a try and see if he can hear us. Hey Chris, how are you reading me?
Loud and clear.
I appreciate you helping me out. Talk to you later.
Roger, roger.
Cool. I guess that's a wrap, guys. Thanks for watching my video.